start billable hours. I was like, wait a
You
minute,
said,
start billable hours? I was like, holy shit. You can now track your billable rate on your Zoom.
oh, do you have like paid Zoom?
No, I don't do that anymore. I dropped
No.
that like last March.
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't need it anymore. I
I
was
never
done
paid.
with it.
You always gotta have somebody in the group that pays. You're like,
Dude, you never paid. What?
no, I
Oh
never.
my God. You never had to?
No, why would I have to? If
Yeah,
I'm
it's
joining
true.
meetings, then I don't. I just have to be let into one
You're not running them.
or share it. Have somebody who has a paid account. Then you tag them in it.
Ah, now I like what you're saying. I dig it.
Yes. So then when the
Man,
free ends, it would then switch to theirs because they'd be like the co.
oh man. See, you had it right. I had that account for like, I had it since the pandemic
Yeah,
because I was doing all those classes and stuff.
that makes sense. Yeah, but did you need it for the classes?
Because the classes were like,
You had to start the meeting? The
no,
class started the meeting.
no, I didn't use it for that. I used it for, oh, I was using it for work. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're using for work because you were starting meetings?
Yes. And
Okay. It
I was
seems
the
that
one that
okay.
I had the account and this and that. So they were using my Zoom and all that. It was,
Okay. But were you like a manager or you just were the one that was paying for it and
I
your
was the
work?
manager.
Okay.
I was like the office manager for the executive administrative floor.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, so you started you would schedule meetings for everybody.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I was the guy that would do all the meeting minutes and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I still can't justify you having to pay for it. If I'm going to be honest,
I hear you.
yeah, I think that is that's corporate greed, man. That's corporate greed.
Oh,
They took advantage of you. You weren't the one who was supposed to be paying for that. They were. So they should have had a corporate account that everybody could use, right? If anybody had the,
exactly.
yeah, that shouldn't have been you. But I guess we live and we learn.
Yes, we
5 years
do.
later. 5 years later.
5 years later. You know, yesterday was the first case in
Oh, so I was in
2019.
2019.
That was 6 years ago, dude.
Wow, it's more than five. Wow, we're on to two hands.
Dude, it's unbelievable.
Yep, now it's just something that happened.
That's pretty much it. It's just
Okay.
something that happened.
Do
Now,
you do you sometimes get like super high and then think like, wait a minute. Did the pandemic, was that a result of like somebody being able to time travel and they messed something up and they moved it because it feels like it was a blip in a way where all of a sudden it was just like, and chaos, go. And so maybe somebody went back in time and they did something they weren't supposed to, and that's why our universe shifted.
oh my God, are you saying
Do you
the
ever think about that?
I think about stuff like that a lot. I think about stuff like that a lot, dude, because Back to the Future 2 was on not too long ago.
hmm
And if friggin' Marty
Crazy. That's a crazy
just
one.
left that almanac alone, it
But you
wouldn't.
know that if anybody else got that opportunity, they would do it because everyone's like, I'll do it different this time. I'll be good about it. It's like, no, this is evil. Nobody will ever be good.
There is no good about it
No.
because you're always going to want to win and be right.
Yeah.
No, it's too much. I can't. No.
That's why
Like,
the third one was so important. Such an important movie because we went to the wild, wild west and we said, what's happening in this movie? And you went, you know what? I'm still reeling from the last one. So this is nice. I'll sit in this. Must have been so confusing.
Oh my God. Dude, I never really paid attention to the third one.
Go back. It's fun.
Is it?
It's fun. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, they're
Back
in
to
the
the Future
old.
3. Okay. Nothing shocks them anymore. They understand how time travel works. But
What do you,
oops, things break.
what do you
Gotta
mean
fix
nothing?
them.
What do you mean nothing shocks them?
Well, at this point, they've time traveled so much. They've already gotten into like bad situations. So now they're prepared for those bad situations. So when those bad situations happen, now they're not like, oh gosh, now we have to make a whole movie about how we're going to fix this. Now they're like, all right, let me go fix this thing. All right, let's go time travel again. Oh no. Now
Oh
a thing
no.
happened, but now I have more time. You get more done.
Wait,
That
how do
all,
you
we followed that whole train of thought?
wait
Let
a
me
minute.
any
Wait a
question.
minute. How do you get more done? How do you get more done?
Get more done because you're able to solve the problem faster. So you're now wasting less time troubleshooting when now you're like, oh, let me just go look over at that page real quick. Now you don't have to search for the page to be able to troubleshoot. Now you know how to troubleshoot. So you get more time. You're still dealing with the problem, but your efficiency level has now gone up. So you can take on more
Oh, snap.
or take that time for yourself.
You just like
Yeah.
you know what you know what's funny about that? Taking time for yourself. So check this out. This was really funny because it was when was it? Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday after my shift. Had a good shift, sold, moved some products. It was good. All that was fun or whatever. So I wanted to reward myself.
Good.
And I rewarded myself with clothes that fit.
Excellent.
And then one of these. Oh my goodness, this guy right here, lemon cherry gelato from
Ooh.
Rolling Green,
Oh, I
right
love their
there.
label.
It's very calming, very chill, very
Yeah.
relaxed. And shout out to Culture House and the bud tender Eric. This is phenomenal. So I'm getting ready to go, back home or whatever because 8th Avenue train is running on 6th Avenue, all that weekend stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm at the
Weekends, where am I? I don't know. Just get on the train.
and it's so funny you just said that. It's like just get on the train. So I'm getting all my stuff
It's
organized.
going in the right direction. Just just get me to the next borough. I'll figure it out once I just get me over the river.
As long as I keep going in the direction I want to go,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's do it. So I get out of the place and I'm putting everything away, receipts, whatever, and all that good stuff. And I'm getting myself ready to go into the subway. It's right there
Yeah.
to the right. And there was a couple that left the shop right before me, and they were at the same corner. And I kind of overheard them, like, which way are we going to go to the subway, this, that, and the other. And I looked at the guy, and I looked there, and I looked back, I looked again, and he figured out what I was saying. But then he was like, aha, but where am I going? And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, it's cold, freezing, windy. Just go downstairs and figure it out.
Yeah.
But then back to your point of saving your time, I should have just minded my business.
I know, but then sometimes you're like, fine.
Why would you be like, oh, fine?
Because sometimes you just don't want to get involved.
That is true.
Yeah. Like, right, you just said you're like, maybe I should have just like minded my own business, kept to myself, right?
Right.
Like you want to, but then sometimes you see somebody, you're like, man, I could be in their situation one day. I have this, got to put it into the good karma jar.
I'm like, dude, it was right there.
Yeah.
was right there. I gotta understand.
Yeah, but also to be fair, I did watch a woman get off the train. It was on the G train, and the G
Right,
train just said it was going to Court Square, like for every stop. Like once I got on and I was like, oh, it says the next one's Court Square. That's not true. Okay, it's the thing's broken. So I think she got off the stop before Court Square,
right.
and I saw her stop and look at the sign, and then she got off. And then she came back and then she looked back up at the sign again and she was like, and like shrugged her shoulders, even though the signs, like at this point, she got off the train and she looked around. She
Oh
saw that
no.
it did not say those signs for that station did not match this thing on
Oh no.
train. But it's not like she was too far off. She had the
Right.
for that mistake, but I let her just make it. I was like, what? This one needs to be learned.
And she really shrugged.
No, yeah, she was just kind of like, well, I guess that's what it says.
No,
You have to let those people sometimes make mistakes.
that is commitment.
Yeah. But I was like looking over and I was like about to be like, that's not Court Square. But then I was like, no. The signs are literally all around her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How
So
do
maybe I balanced out the universe of you helping somebody. And then I was like, no, I'm gonna let him learn. I don't have kids, but I imagine that I'd be like, nah, let him fall. That'll be fine.
but isn't that's how it worked for us?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had to learn. You got to touch the hot thing to figure out that you're not supposed to touch it.
Yeah, you'll never touch it again. And if you do, then you're like, oh man, now I gotta go take the kid in for testing. What's going on here? Is he a sociopath or
Oh my God.
yeah.
Speaking of sociopaths, I just started.
Fun segue.
Speaking of
Everyone's always got
sociopaths,
one.
I just started the Diddy documentary on Netflix.
No way,
Oh,
man.
oh,
I don't want documentaries about the time that we're living in right now. I don't
of
want it.
course. Wait. You don't want the time?
No, I don't like the Diddy documentary. I want it in 10 years from now.
Oh, you don't want it right now.
No, I don't want it right now. That's still happening.
You know why it's
This
right
story's
now.
not over. That's a incomplete documentary. And you know what? I don't want the follow-up. You're dragging me along. I'm not going to allow it. You give me
You
a
know.
completed project, and if it is 12 episodes, like Ken Burns, you know what? Fine, because you respected my time. Four? No, you come back when you have 12. You don't have 12, you don't care. Your documentary means nothing. Am I going to watch all those hours on baseball? No. But
Do
Ken Burns
you know,
did it.
do you know why that documentary is right now? Do
I'm
you know
so sorry.
how it's okay? It's okay, Queenie. Do you know why that documentary is right now?
Why?
When you watch the credits of that Diddy documentary,
No.
first thing you see is executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, the pettiest man on the planet, put that
I
documentary together. Yo, this man was on Good Morning America, I think today or yesterday, talking about that documentary, dude. Oh,
wow.
yes.
Now, is he a friend or is he an enemy? An enemy. So you're making a documentary now about your enemy? No, I do not want to see. That is not a documentary, okay? That's your like be like, "Hey, let me tell you why I was right about this motherfucker." Right? I have so much evidence. I'm going to give you 4 episodes. But no, come back when you
Oh
have
my
12.
God. You figured it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yes. Now, if this was like an MTV tell-all special, I'm on board. This is the wrong marketing. This is an MTV special. 50 Cent did a documentary. That is the first news, right? And then he did it on his enemy? Oh, okay. I see where I mean, the documentary is from the viewpoint of the filmmaker. not to brag, I studied documentary film in college. So
Oh,
yeah.
well, well, well.
Yeah,
Well, so
it's a good way to segue.
it is a
How are
good
you
way
gonna
to
segue? How are you
segue.
gonna segue into
How am
our
I going to segment?
this is I love
Blah,
it.
blah.
Documentary about Diddy. Go.
How am I going to segue my way into this?
Yeah,
So,
singing his way out of it.
we were just talking about royalty, tarnished royalty, okay? But royalty nonetheless, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Just now. But now, what we have in our presence right here
Okay, you're doing an
is,
excellent job.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
What we have right here is, I don't even know how to put this into words, like a countess or countessa, uh, a queen rather, a queen of 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 the dabs, a queen of the experience, a queen of the cannabis. Queenie Melody Gonzalez, how are you?
I'm
Welcome,
okay.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. My cheeks hurt. That was amazing. I'm smiling so hard.
Well, I came in a little hot. I'm sorry about that. Again,
No, I thought I was late. I was running.
no, no, no. You're good to go.
Oh,
This
that's
kept
actually
me
one of my
going.
favorite brands, and that was actually my favorite strain from them. Rolling Green is really good.
Nice.
Oh, this is delectable,
Excellent.
delightful.
Excellent choice.
And Megan, how are you?
No, I'm great.
Any partaking today, or you're all set?
Um, yeah, I have it's new. I haven't had this one before. Heritage Collection back home.
Oh, very
Okay.
Yeah.
nice. All right.
They have a more affordable price point. So I
Nothing.
think, and
Nothing is
so
wrong
far
with
so good.
affordable. I like that.
Yeah.
Affordable. Get the job done. That is what it's all
For the
about.
thrifty stoner, come talk to
Little
me.
little trout hash.
Ooh.
Little trout
Ooh.
hash here.
Oh,
Little
very
limeade from
nice.
trout hash with my pivot. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Now you see, this
Right.
is what I gotta ask. This is wow. That is globtacular.
Okay, so that's dab.
This is a
Yes.
concentrate. Yes.
That's a concentrate. Okay.
Yes.
Now what I want to know, I don't know if Megan feels the same way. Why is this your preferred method of choice?
Because it's higher THC, higher terpene profile, more broad spectrum, so it covers endometriosis pain management better than flower. Like flower is you're at somewhere between 20 to 30%, and with concentrates you're anywhere between 65 to even 90%. So more concentrated, right? Like
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
always compare this to frozen apple juice. You know, in the freezers you got the frozen apple juice, right? If you try to drink it like that, it's bitter. It's if you add 4 cups of water, that's what you get with flour. You add 4 cups,
Gotcha.
and you have apple juice. Concentrates are just that. Like they're just the most they're literally the plant washed, frozen, and then whipped and
What?
cured. Yeah, so we're not going through any, we're not adding and like it's we're not diluting it in any way. Where if you grow
Wow.
it and then you turn it into, if you keep it as flour, then you're at maybe 20% THC. But if you keep it as concentrate, you're at anywhere from 60% and higher. Full spectrum
Wow.
terpene profile.
Excellent. So
Solventless.
full spectrum is like specific for you. You mentioned endometriosis.
Yes.
Why?
So endometriosis is when the endometrium lining grows outside of the pelvic organ area. So instead of staying contained to the endometrium wall, it grows on the colon, on the bladder, on the appendix. Some women have had it in the liver, in the thoracic. It can just grow anywhere. And a lot of times, it's just polycystic ovarian syndrome
Oh
mixing with
wow.
scarring and then being estrogen dominant. So a lot of women unknowingly with PCOS are already estrogen dominant. And when you're estrogen dominant, then you produce more endometrium than you should. And then it grows on different parts. So 1 in 10 women have endometriosis. And I think less than maybe $70 million a year goes to research for endometriosis. And there's no cure. There's literally not a cure for endometriosis. There's management, but there's no cure. And so before dabbing, I was on maybe like 16 different pills. Eight of them were pain, and one of them was a fentanyl patch.
Oh
And nothing
no.
nothing still worked for that pain because it first of all you need surgery and then they come back. And so the only relief women tend to get is either surgical removal, or they put their body into a state of thinking that it's pregnant, and then it doesn't produce as much estrogen. So some women will take small doses of progesterone, which trick the body into thinking they're pregnant, and therefore it doesn't, your endometrium doesn't keep producing, because you produce endometrium when you get your menstrual cycle.
Gotcha.
So every time you go to have a cycle, you produce that lining. Technically, a woman should shed that lining. That's what her cycle is. This
Right?
is not. This is when it attaches itself to the organs and it begins to grow endometriomas. And they are the ugliest looking suckers you could ever think of. Think of a horror movie like those ghosts that come out like Freddy Krueger. Like
Okay.
that's what an endometrioma looks like. It's ugly, it's fierce. A lot of time they're blood filled, so
Oof.
women are going through tremendous amounts of pain, and losing their autonomy and their jobs and their sense of self. And for me, dabbing gave that back to me. Dabbing gave me back my life, and it allowed me to manage that pain so that I could be functional, and so nothing touched it but until I dabbed.
Wow.
And now
What was
I don't take anything now for my pain but dabbing.
That's crazy.
really?
That's
Yeah,
so great.
yeah, for real, for real.
Dude,
Like I I believe in dabbing so much. That's why I'm so passionate. Sorry, you hear that or is that just me?
I heard that.
You hear that? Hold on, let me fix that.
It's all good. My goodness. Wow, that is amazing. How cannabis is able to assist women in managing their pain. That and I'm like, it's got to be something that's pushed more in medicine. Like somehow, some way, you have to get some cannabis advocacy for pain management for women.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the goal. I was talking actually today with the Dang Duchess, and she's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, how do I get outside of my current community and onto some bigger platform where I could speak to women, especially about just about the potential, because this is not, unless you get medical doctors to back you up, just the potential of managing their pain with a dab versus taking gabapentin, amitriptyline, like all of these medications, Lyrica, all of these medications that I've been on, they have such severe side effects. As a matter of fact, the very first, maybe the second line of defense for endometriosis for me was Lupron. And Lupron is a chemo, it's
oh
chemotherapy.
wow.
And so they gave me Lupron for a year. They put me in a medically induced menopause for
Whoa.
1 year. This
What?
caused joint degeneration, arthritis. This caused Lupron. It's chemo. So it's killing everything else. I'm still developing new endometriomas, which proved that even in a menopause state, the brain and the body will still produce these new even with the estrogen shut down, right?
Wow.
And so
Oh my
you
goodness.
think, okay, maybe menopause. Well, if you choose to go through hormone replacement therapy, you can't have that option, because now that puts you back into a state of developing new endometriosis. So imagine being in your 70s and having to take a little HRT, and now you're still dealing with the causes of that estrogen. So
Oh
we're kind of like
no.
stuck with it. We're kind of stuck. We're just kind
So
of,
so now dabbing, right?
yeah.
How effective is it as far as like some medications are time released or whatever, and dabbing for you, is that like an all day part of the day? How is it now for you?
That would depend on what type of day I'm having, right? And then also what type of terpene profile I'm aiming for. So if I know that I'm maybe not having a high pain day, well, then I want to kind of get everything that I can get done before that pain comes back, because you never know when it comes back. And so maybe the day that I'm not in so much pain, I'm dabbing in the morning, I'm getting functional. But because with endometriosis, 9 out of 10, you have fibromyalgia, which is secondary to endo, right? Because your body
Right.
is in a state of pain all the time. Fibromyalgia is kind of next. When they say depression hurts, they mean fibromyalgia. It really is a response to the mental state. And so I can get active and then the fibro will kick in. So I don't think I dab less than 4 to 5 times a day. At minimum, I'm
Oh,
dabbing 4 to 5 times a day. That's like a good day. That's just a day to be functional and kind of get through whatever I need to get through. On a high pain day, also, man, that's such a wide question because it depends on what you're dabbing on. If you got a
ah,
really good rosin, you may not need to dab so frequently. It can really carry you. You get a
okay.
good terpene profile, you may get 4 or 5 hours of relief. You know what I mean? Like I've had some brands that will give me 4, 5, 6 hours of good relief. I can get some things done, or I can get some sleep in, which helps you recover. I don't have my menstrual anymore, so I don't deal with the same type of pelvic monthly cramping as, let's say, a woman who with endo does. Mine is in my bladder,
Got
and
it.
I've had two partial cystectomies. So I've lost twice. I've lost parts of my bladder. So it tends to attack that bladder area. So I have trouble doing normal things like just passing urine, or
Right,
like
right.
I can't feel my bladder get full, or if I get a UTI, it could go for a long time undetected because of all the damage that the endometriosis has done to the bladder. So I kind of deal with that type of chronic pain.
Got
And
you.
that goes along with the fibro. But most women that I'm finding now, they're dabbing for that instant relief when they're having their cycle, and they need like relief at that quick moment,
Got it.
where we're coming up with rosin infused suppositories, or rosin pills versus
Wait,
a.
Well,
did you
yeah.
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
rosin suppository?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like we're talking just about that effect rosin has, whether you're dabbing it, eating it as an edible, vaping it,
Right.
smoking rosin in a hash hole, a
Okay.
suppository that can be made for women. They are made, and they're almost like either they're infused with rosin, or you can even RSO infused suppositories.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There's just a lot happening in the cannabis space with RSO, with rosin, and a lot of people think it's just dabbing, but if you can just get rosin into you in other ways,
Right.
there's just a health benefit there. Those terpene profiles, anti-inflammatory, anti-spasmodic, antioxidant, helping to relax, anti-seizure.
Okay.
RSO's been linked to anti-seizure. So, all those neurological things, they start in the brain. Like everything starts in the brain and in the gut. And so I think we're seeing that right now. Dabbing in its quick form is bringing a lot of instant relief. That's why I carry my puff coat everywhere. It's
Excellent.
instant.
Now I
It's
got a
instant.
question for you now. What is the terpene profile that works best for you?
Mine is the limonene, carafilene, myrcene combo.
Oh, so
And
you
you
like
tend to, yeah,
citrus?
yeah. So you find that more. Actually, you find that more in GMO crosses, OG Kushes. Um, they're not on that citrus profile. They're almost on that Z gassy
Oh, okay, okay,
profile, more
okay.
of that indica leaning terpene profile. When you get into that myrcene and that carafilene mix, you're looking for almost a narcotic effect.
Right,
Z could be almost a little narcotic. GMO could be very narcotic. It makes you feel very cerebral. So
right.
when you're dealing with any pain that's connected to the brain, I try to lean toward terpene files that's going to make me feel cerebral, almost like
Okay.
I'm on a shroom.
Oh,
Yeah. And they
nice.
exist. I
I
mean,
can imagine.
your terpene profile and you get a good legacy brand, 85, 90% THC.
Right.
Yeah,
Now, what I want
forget
to
about it.
ask you is this real quick. Now, do you feel that cannabis so far, the industry is doing enough for women, for their pain management or anything of that nature?
I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. I think platforms are opening up. I think we're looking at cannabis in terms of wellness. We're not looking at it so much as we are recreational. It is. I love to get stoned like everyone else, but I think it's starting to really get into conversations about wellness and holistic health and plant-based health. I think a lot of us who are having these platforms are showing healthier diets, eating more even plant-based foods because that helps our body, and really showing that it's not about just taking a dab, but what am I consuming with my company, with my food, with my energy, and really showing that, we're putting ourselves into the hands of like the plant to help us. We also have to start adapting other ways to kind of let it help our body. So I think we are, because we have more wellness brands than we've ever seen before. So many more women are speaking out. We have more events where women are taking the reins and leading the charge and really opening up these discussions.
I
And
like
we
that.
have hash being made specifically with women with pain. So I think we are going to have, I think we're already going toward it. And I think that the further we get with cannabis, the more advocacy we see, we're going to start seeing, cannabis is going to start being at your local yoga studios and your local Pilates studio. I mean, we already do yoga and cannabis,
Yes, we
dabbing
do.
events,
Yeah.
because we want to recover. We want to maybe relax the muscles before we start yoga. That helps people relax, calm down, get out of their heads a little bit, kind of center into themselves. And then when they're finished, they dab and they get recovery. And so they're starting to see the whole 360. It's not just about getting stoned and what do I do today? No, I can totally medicate. We even changed the verbiage. I can totally medicate, you know what I mean? And be totally functional. It doesn't look like it used to look before. It's a
Got you.
totally different conversation.
I got another question for you. So we last saw you at an event, I believe it was for their launch party,
Yes,
and you were running a dab bar,
yes.
and I was petrified. But now I feel ready. I feel
Okay.
ready because after talking to you, listening to you, and explain it the way that you just did, I'm ready for that other experience
I hear that. Okay.
and feeling cerebral and all that other stuff, and I'm excited to do that. So
Yeah, I
we
like that
will.
it exists. Because I don't need it for that pain level, but it's good to know that if I did,
Uh,
that would be a better holistic way to go. I also think that it's like really interesting, like right now, like is such a perfect time to be talking about all this because we're in such a place where it's like nobody really trusts like the medical world so much
exactly.
anymore. So, and it's like now is a time where we should have been taking our like being more active in our health and the
Hmm.
choices and not just like trusting blindly that, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. So, but
Yes,
now we are. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like that community type aspect to it where it's like we're all passing the information to each other and then being like, well, this worked for me because this is like, and more conversations are happening about health.
I
yeah.
like
I
that.
think I think our, the I think a lot of us got together and realized we were all being medically gaslit.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, everyone's gas, they are. And you put 20 endometriosis patients together, I can bet, I could bet an ounce of dabs that all of us have been told either we needed to lose weight, this was all in our head, we just need to take time. I mean, we've all been medically gaslit. And I think when you put all those people together in a room and they're like, wait a minute, uh, we can help each other without judging each other, and we could recommend what strain helps us without judging each other. And I think when we started to realize we could do that in these rooms, this is why sessions grew. This is really for me what Sesh with Queenie started out to be. Really, I wanted people to be able to come and exchange that information. I spent 25 years as a medical assistant. I did various specialties. I worked in trauma, cardiology, pulmonary health. So when I stepped into cannabis to treat my endometriosis, I was going against 25 years worth of training,
Oh my.
Yeah.
because I've been trained for 25 years that the doctors had all the answers until they failed me. And when you get on the other side of that, when you get on the other side of the table and you're the patient, you're thinking to yourself, how the hell did I believe in these people for 25 years? How was I so loyal? And now the same brain that helped them save lives, they don't believe that I'm in such bad pelvic pain, I can't pee. I
Right.
had to prove that for 5 years. And so when my husband, I got 2 degrees in healthcare. My husband's like, "Are you ever going to go back?" And I'm like, "How? How? They
Exactly.
failed me." It was my cannabis community that saved me. You know
Mm.
what I mean? It wasn't the medical community that said, sure, they did the surgery and they
Right.
removed the endometriomas, but then what? They left me to fend for myself with no aftercare, no plan, because they didn't know. They didn't have the answers. But then you get into the cannabis community and we all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you
Now I
know?
got another question for you. How how important is community in this New York City area? Because there's a lot of I see some of that on social
Yeah.
media, and I'm like, we're all here to have fun, to build each other up and not really tear each other down. We're in each other, we all have our own space.
I am a firm believer that there's room for everyone. I think that what we're just experiencing right now, unfortunately, is people are just they're excited, and I think that everyone thinks that everything needs to be done right now, and I think that it changes. It's unfortunately shifting the community, but I think people like myself and some of the more OG legacy people that started a few years ago that are kind of like, and I'm talking more in like this world, in the Instagram social media world. I'm not talking about our legacy growers or stuff. I'm talking
Right,
about
right.
people like myself. I think as my brand grows, I start to see the responsibility that I have as a brand, as a woman. Oh my goodness, as like, you know, to keep reminding us that community is important, and that if we get caught up in the hype, that we're going to lose the very foundation in which we started. And so I think, our egos get involved, our competitiveness get involved. I'm guilty of crap too, like everyone else. You get caught up.
Right.
You start to get in your feelings. And I think that at the end of the day, we got to keep coming back to our why. Why did we start doing this? What are our intentions? How do we hold ourselves responsible and accountable? Because community is the most important thing that we have. Legacy is never going to die, but legacy can only be, it can only be continued with community and with good intentions and stuff like that. So I think that community is the most important thing. And it's unfortunate that some of us have had to like put some boundaries up and stick to them. And sometimes that doesn't look so great. But we're also just like in a regular job, like no matter what community in, there needs to be boundaries and there needs to be,
You got to protect your peace.
respect. And yeah, and I'm big on respecting the people that came before you because they've really paved the way. Like Queenie couldn't be Queenie without Dab Queen NYC. She started it. You know what
Right.
I mean? So I'm big on paying respect to those that came before me and not forgetting who sacrificed for me to even be sitting at this table with Dabs right now. A lot of people made a lot of sacrifices so I could do
Now, I
this.
want to make sure we have less than a minute. Sesh with Queenie is on StreamYard, YouTube,
Yeah,
and
it's on YouTube only right now. Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock live. I do my whole reviews, rosin reviews, Dab education.
this has been what the Bake Sale Sessions, episode 23. This is Caramel Sauce. We are out, Megan. Love
Bye.
y'all. See ya.